Hey there, how's it going? Carrie Carr here once again, giving you a 5-minute video about some random topic that I decide just prior to the start of this live stream. Today's topic is going to be alcohol. The consumption of alcohol, what it does, what I think about it. Um, Maybe some pros and cons, things of that nature, whatever comes into my mind throughout these next 5 minutes. I guess I will start it off by talking a little bit about my experience with alcohol. So I grew up in a family where alcohol was unacceptable due to um, the religious nature of my family. And so I didn't touch alcohol until I was in my I was like 19, I want to say 19 or 20. And this was in my Marine Corps days. And so, of course, I got a very strong introduction into alcohol. And I've consumed alcohol ever since. Um, Early in my drinking days, I drank primarily to help with my social anxiety. Um, I dealt with social anxiety all of my life. It made conversations difficult. It made big public settings difficult. It just made life difficult, and using alcohol as a bit of a social lubricant um, really helped open me up a little bit. So I don't know if it was the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do, but that's what I did, and I did that, for years and years. And to some degree, I would say that I still do use alcohol as a medication for my social anxiety. Now, recently, I think within the last 6 months, I realized how extensive that was, and I also learned a lot about alcohol and how negative of an impact it can have on you, and how I was probably not living my life to its fullest by medicating my social anxiety when I really should have been doing something about the social anxiety to begin with. There's other options out there. There's therapy, there's medication, there's just working through the issues, being real with yourself, being real with the people around you, and letting them know, hey, I've got social anxiety. Like, yes, it's not this big like black terrible thing that I thought it was um, all those years ago. And so now, kind of recentering on alcohol, um, I think I've kind of covered the good of alcohol. Honestly, there's not a whole lot, right? The biggest thing is that it can make you comfortable in situations that you otherwise wouldn't be comfortable in, right? You go to a party, there's tons of people around. Um, Many of them are attractive. Maybe that makes you uncomfortable. You have a couple of beers, you feel a little looser. You can kind of ease into the conversation. You can say things you wouldn't normally feel comfortable saying. Maybe you're a little funnier, just a little bit less on edge, and that really helps. So that is, a very nice effect of alcohol. All right. On the other hand, I think there are a huge number of negative effects of alcohol. I mean, let's start with health impacts, right? So there's fatty liver, um, there's, you know, I should I should stop before I say too much, but because I'm not a doctor and I haven't done enough research on the impacts of alcohol. But I mean, in my life, there's hangovers. Believe it or not, alcohol has actually contributed significantly to my social anxiety. So, or not my social anxiety, but my overall anxiety. So I would go out and have a couple beers, and I'd wake up, and for the next day or two, I would have this anxiety coupled with like depression, depression-esque symptoms. And it took me a little bit of time to actually correlate the two. But when I did, now I notice it all the time. They're definitely tied together. And so it has mental health impacts. I think there's probably a number of other health impacts that I'm just not picking up off the top of my head. I'm sure cancer is probably one of them. I know it can lead to like shaky hands. I mean, it can lead to alcoholism, right? Which is dangerous in and of itself and a real problem. So there's a lot of negative health effects. Another negative that there is the uh, just the potential to do things under the influence of alcohol that you wouldn't necessarily do, right? Sexual assaults happen all the time under the influence of alcohol. Now, I'm not here to say whether or not they would have happened with or without it. I think in many cases, though, that it would not have. Um, Driving under the influence. If you are drinking alcohol, you can drive under the influence. It's a very risky behavior. Um, a lot of fights happen while under the influence of alcohol. Yeah, just a lot of negative activities can occur, and I've seen them time and time again in my life when I've overconsumed alcohol. So none of those crazy ones, obviously, but still behavior that I wouldn't necessarily participate in otherwise. Um, so yeah, it's another negative effect of alcohol. Um, I feel like I should have more to say here, although I have exceeded my 5-minute timeline. But since I'm here, and I'm thinking, what else would I like to say about the effects of alcohol? I watched or listened to a Huberman Lab podcast not too long ago on the effects of alcohol, and that was really eye-opening. I wish I knew the episode off the top of my head. I would highly recommend it to anyone who consumes alcohol. His argument was that you should really not drink any alcohol. It's poison for your body. It's poison for your mind. And he had a lot more data to back those statements up than me sitting here with a 5-minute warning, just talking off my ass. But yeah, I highly recommend if you drink alcohol, you at least look into it. I'm not saying quit drinking. And to be frank with you, I haven't quit drinking. I still drink. I drink responsibly, but I do drink alcohol. And I intend to continue to drink alcohol. It's a social activity that I participate in and that a large number of my friends and acquaintances participate in as well, so it would be difficult for me to move on from. That's really all I have on the topic of alcohol. I did make it to 8 minutes and 50 seconds, so that's pretty cool. Just a little reminder of why I'm doing this. It's here so that I can work on my social anxiety. So if you pop in here and you listen to me talking about some random topic that I don't really sound like I know all of the answers to, that's because I most definitely do not. All right, I'm just practicing talking about any topic out loud, working to make my brain more capable at quickly stringing together thoughts, concepts, and doing it while I'm talking on the spot. As I said, I think in the previous episode, I do a lot of talking in front of people for work, and it makes me very uncomfortable. And so what I'm trying to do here is just build up that level of comfort so that I can go out there and do a better job at work, do a better job around people, and just be a better person overall. So thanks for hanging in there with me, and until next time, you all have a good one.